Have you ever wondered what the world was like at the very beginning? Before the great empires, before the long shadows of war, when the world itself was young and full of light. Today, we read diving into the heart of a story that feels as ancient as time itself, the Song of Ages. It all starts on a beautiful, bright day with the breath of spring in the air, but don't let the sunlight fool you. A shadow is creeping into the world. It's not an enemy of flesh and blood, but something formless from the abyssal depths of the earth, a presence that poisons the land and lures souls to their doom. This isn't just one small corner of the world we're talking about. Mighty empires and beautiful kingdoms, from the plains of Emad Aran to the proud forests of Munanin and the great empire of Erin, all stand unknowingly on the brink. Their glory is fading, like a fragile memory, before the specter of this ancient enemy. Man, sadly, is blind to the signs. He holds no sword at the ready. He doesn't see the danger gathering like a storm on the horizon. But was it always like this? No. There was a time when the world flourished, embraced by the gentle gaze of the King of Light. At the dawn of ages, there was a unique folk called the Faelirs. Born from flowers, they weren't human in the way we understand it. They lived on the shoreland of the great mountain, beyond time itself, and they, along with all people, knew of Ilnerin, the great King of Light. He wasn't some distant, stern monarch. His love for all creatures was immense, and everyone yearned to see him. It was said his face was eternally young, wise as an elder, and so wondrous that every knee would bend at its sight. One day, a crowd gathered by a roadside, eagerly waiting. A small child, observing them, asked, "Who are you waiting for?" "For the great king," they all replied. The child simply said, "He is among you." A frenzy erupted. Everyone searched, their eyes darting everywhere, but they found no one. They were so disappointed. "You have no eyes, you're blind." The child cried out. The people were confused. "But we have eyes," they insisted. "Hey, you have them, yet you see nothing," the child replied. "He stands in your midst." They begged the child to show them, but he simply said, "Then close your eyes." They did, but all they saw was darkness. When they opened their eyes again, the child was gone. They searched until nightfall, but never found their king, and went home, their grand visions of a monarch in golden robes completely shattered. Later, a man arrived in the village, breathless with excitement. He had seen Ilnerin. His friends gathered around, asking, was he draped in jewels? Did he wear a crown gleaming like the sun? The man just waved his hand. "No, no, you speak fancifully," he said. He was but a lad, a small boy in a simple, worn tunic. His friend paled. A boy, he whispered. He, too, had seen a boy at his dwelling that day. In that moment, their grand ideas of what a king should be crumbled. They never imagined the great king would appear as a simple child, without a mighty army or the blare of trumpets. This story was eventually written down by a wandering minstrel, and the whole world came to know it. It reminds us that greatness often comes in the most unexpected forms, and that to truly see, we sometimes need to look with our hearts, not just our eyes. The final days of the world's innocence were marked by a grand celebration, the Feast of Spring. People and Faelirs joined in a great procession, with dances and songs in praise of the great king. It was whispered that Ilnerin himself would attend. During these festivities, the King of Light chose the first leader of the Faelirs, a young dweller of the shoreland named Mernival. He was named the Prince of the Earth. A new chapter was beginning, but it was also the beginning of the end for the Age of Innocence. After becoming prince, Mernival was called to a great task. He had to journey into the wide eastern world. Before he left, he met with Ilnerin in a small glade. The great king gave him advice, but it wasn't about power or conquest. Remember this, Ilnerin said softly. A prince is but a servant of his people. To rule as king is to serve. If love guides your heart, you will forget all that is needless. Then came a warning. Ilnaren told Mernival he could go wherever he desired, but cautioned him against venturing into the northern frontiers of the earth. "What is there that you forbid me from seeing, Lord?" Mernival asked. "In truth, there is nothing there worthy of your notice," the king replied. But he added one more instruction. "When you pass the northern frontiers, pay no heed to the voices that will tempt you to cross. Reject them and journey on." Mernival, ever curious, asked where these voices came from. Ilnaren simply looked at him, as if to say some things are better left unknown, and sent him on his way. So Mernival began his long walk. He needed no staff, no food, no water, for he was filled with an immeasurable strength gifted by the King of Light. He journeyed through mountains and valleys, meeting few people, but those he did meet welcomed him, surprised to see such a noble guest in a simple cloak and wooden clogs. Mernival, the first prince of the earth, was a servant king walking among his people. His journey had just begun, but the shadow of the northern frontiers and the mysterious voices Ilnaren warned him about loomed in the distance. The world was changing, and Mernival was walking right into the heart of that change. And that is where our journey into the Song of Ages pauses for today. A world of light and shadow, of servant kings and hidden enemies. What lies in the northern frontiers? What are the voices that will tempt Mernival? The story is just beginning. If you're as captivated by this world as I am, make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next chapter of this epic tale. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.